Well, let me begin by saying, what is psychology? Well, I just had a PhD in psychology get out there yesterday, and she brought up every single index: antisocial. She brought up psycho, schizo, sociopath. So I need an M2 to every single one of these. Not because what you're talking about economically wouldn't be the right hand rule, but you use psychology. What is economics behind retail trading and frenzy fueled GameStop, Robinhood? Well, this is game theory, so therefore field theory. They become a calculus at areas under the curve of parametric SAMs, essentially. Somebody, as a herd based index, picks up on those things, lets it raise up, bends it down, because there's no way you could get out of this. This is just, to me, why I get my rocks off by watching is because it's almost like watching somebody in here kicking, getting the rabbit trap real good about, well, how well are you about to do this? And if your answer isn't field theory into a thing, because it's not. It's not this thing that says, oh, the government's wrong and these guys are all criminals. This is still some of the top end science without them getting to that point. A lot of times in the stall mill, when you get there, it's like, well, how come I'm not worth it, boss? How come I'm not worth those things? Because that's the economics behind this frenzy. It's this speed line against any other don't make it somewhere else. There's gold in Alaska. If I could clear out the area and the archaeology of the Manabrachiosaurus of people trying to find AU out here, or AG, or tungsten, or copper, or anything else outside of here, they correlate to a risk. They correlate to an annex of, well, it's not just E forever. This is E0 in some places, E1, E2, and they kind of have an area. Right, galena is high in silver, so I would start with galena, but it also has an index of, oh, it's not all galena sites. I can't just correlate directly galena to silver, or rusty rocks to gold, or somewhere where I found rubies by a compositional difference.
Interacting with meme stocks. I want to just move off of this just a little
Rubies
bit.
by lasers.
Obviously, Robinhood has been in the news
Why else would you
recently,
need
but
them?
even going back to GameStop,
The
what
pounding
do you
it
tell
out
people
and
about that
into
involvement?
a
Because
wedding
now you have
ring
stocks
and
that
making
are
the cultural
obviously
system.
trading,
We put value
with,
in it.
for people who are, let's
It
say,
correlates your
fundamentally
timeline, right?
insensitive.
Is he going to
I don't
screw
know what the
around?
word should be,
It should.
But how do you
Well,
advise
I would
people
go
when
off of that.
stocks
Now,
start trading
I
at
chose
prices that are
you
completely
because that was a number. Now,
distorted
E2 on the game theory. I usually lead with it. So I see you're wearing a ring right there, buddy.
Is that they kind of need to have a community.
Does it mean gravity to you, or is it just something you use to make your wife happy on the
Everybody
NTF?
needs to focus on GME or a silver ETF, whatever it is, especially if you're trying to do short squeezes. So I think there's some level of, we have to be realistic. People like to enjoy investing. There's some level of gambling tendency in it. And that's okay as long as you keep it kind of under control. As long as you say, I'm going to treat this like Vegas. I'm taking money out. I'm not allowed to take out more than
I wish I
with
could
me.
put
I'm gonna have
everybody
a
to
sort of
work in
set
the
risk
silver
budget
and gold
for it.
mine. I
And
really do.
as you
One
said,
driving
if I
to
make
work,
huge returns,
there's a
great. I should
difference. I'll
rebalance
give
back out
somebody
of
a
my
dollar more for
speculation
traveling in
into my
more,
serious retirement
regardless
goals,
if they're a
etc.
better worker or not.
That's
It's
a little
just
bit what I think
sensible
we're
for me to
starting
do. It's
see over at
easy for me
Betterment,
to explain
which
it
is
to the
that
guys
we're
on the
over
crew.
a
It's
year
like,
now on from the
if
trough,
you
the
drive this
2020 March
far,
trough,
all that's
where a lot
gone
of
before you
people
get here.
started
All of it.
speculatively trading, looking at
The
individual
turnover
things.
rate, I
So
might even
we
make it
moved
a
out of that
dollar
kind of
and
like
10
initial
or
novelty
a
area.
nickel or whatever
Now
is
people are a bit like,
square on that about
this
the
feels like a
drive
job.
in
I've got to
every day.
manage
They're
assets.
going to
I've
want
got
to
look
bounce
for
out.
buys and sells. I probably have an
You
Excel
know,
spreadsheet somewhere.
let's adjust
So
that.
we're
We
starting to see what I
normalize
call day
that.
trader fatigue,
And a
or people
psychology
saying,
is
you know
say
what,
hypervigilance is
the
schizo.
novelty is
When
worn
I'm thinking
off, and I
about the
want somebody
brothers
who's
cross
going
the
to do this
board, or
for
I'm
me.
thinking about
So
why
we're
that
still actually
squeaky of
seeing
that
pretty
bird
good
over
inflows
there,
from new
or
customers and
some
new
rabbit in
signers
the
as well.
rabbit's trap. Squeak.
You know,
They're
this
parallels.
is a story that's been
They're
around for
hypervigilant.
25
They're
years. Even
PSTD.
Jack Bogle
I've seen
is
that
probably
stress
the person
before.
who
Why did
most
that pop
influenced
up on the
Whale,
HUD?
the founder of Vanguard,
There, you gotta be careful with
admitted
it.
that
We just
people
had Yemen
like
on
to
here
gamble a little
yesterday
bit,
about
and
their
said he himself
mental
said, if you
health,
feel the need
people
to
in
scratch that
chains.
itch, take,
You know, it's
a
like
small amount.
the
You might
guy.
mention
He kind of
10%,
come up
but
and
that
said
seems to
it.
be
He's
where a
like,
lot
I
of
can
financial
only do.
professionals are gravitating around.
She was
If you
giving the
really
interview,
feel
and
the
he
need
come right at her,
to
like
gamble,
on
you should
defense
have most
mode
of your
about it.
money
You
in
can't say
long-term,
that I'm wrong.
passively
I
managed
can't.
funds. Most people feel,
I don't
but
have
take
managers and
10%.
psychologists over
Dan,
here,
does
and
that
what wind up
10% number
happening?
mean
It's like, well,
something
let's
a
go
lot
through
to
your
you?
case studies
What
before I make
find
that
interesting
determination.
is
And she sat
exactly
down
what
with
you
somebody
said, that
served
it's
in the
very
Yemen
easy to
war.
get in, but devising
These
an
are very
exit
recent.
strategy is very, very difficult. market
And
lobby is
inside of
extraordinarily hard to
there,
do, and
you know,
generally
you could
lose
tell
for the
he is
simple
messed
reason that
up
you gotta be
bad.
right going
Like,
in and
I
you
have
gotta
to
be
figure
right
out a way to
going
work out
so
of
we
that.
all know this,
And
you've been talking
over
about it for
there,
many,
when
many
he
years.
when he said the
And
number, it's like, I
academic
can't let
literature
them
is
off the
overwhelming
farm
that
because
market
he's going to
timing does
kill
not
his
work over
sister.
long
And it
periods of
wasn't
time.
just a kill.
So,
It was
do
rape
you
and kill
think-
that sister,
I
because
like
you
that
can
line
tell
used,
by
investor
her
fatigue.
walking through there
Is
why,
that
as
starting
the
to get through
guard,
to the,
before he
to
let
the-
them in there,
the new
head of the
investors that are
director
out?
of inside here, the guy behind
Yeah,
the
I
guard,
think
you could tell.
we're seeing
It was
something
only
kinda
half of a
interesting.
split
So,
second,
if you
but
think about life cycles
he
of
knew
people,
that
young
it's
people,
just
like 16
psychologically
when you learn to
bad.
drive a car
It's
or
going to
something,
be a
and I don't
tidal
know, maybe
wave
like
later
30 is
on
when you
of
buy your first house.
these guys are going
What
to
we
get
saw
ramped
is
up
the
inside
pandemic in
here.
2020 kind of smushed
It's
a
going to
whole
make
generation
life
of
hell
people
on
into
this,
learning
but
about investing in the same
it
time,
may be worth
namely
it
about
economically
April,
if I can get the
May of
call inside
2020.
here about Yemen.
And the
If-
academic literature says this often happens. People come in, they wanna
Like,
get their
this is
hands
definitely
dirty, they
going to
wanna learn
cause a
about
Drax
investing,
equation
and they do it.
governmentally.
They manage their own
Mexico!
portfolio in stocks that they're familiar with.
Why not
retail
bring in
names,
some damn
consumer-focused names, things that
fucking
make
metal
them feel
wrenches raining
comfortable
on
with
your
getting
goddamn
investment.
house and rebuild
After
it?
they do that for about a
Why
year,
would I
2
still have
years,
you
they
in
start
charge?
to learn
Why
that,
isn't
you know
one
what?
term of any
Day
nukes
trading
that you
is
might
hard,
have or
takes
something that might
attention,
come up
sometimes it's
inside of this
stressful,
later on?
And I don't know that I want to do it.
It's like,
So
look,
generally see
you
the
telling
sort of
me,
fatigue
oh,
kick in
somebody's going to give me
somewhere
that shit.
between
Oh,
a
but your
year
whole
and
life
3
they haven't
years,
done this.
when
Look,
people
you
realize that,
went out
number
there on
one, they're not
MSNBC
beating
and had
the
the
market
salt
by that
farmer,
much,
right,
and
making
number
$100
two,
a
it's
day
job, and they
that
don't
had
wanna have a
illegal
spare job.
systems from Mexico to not sell it. Now
one
go
of the
look
things
at
that
your
amazes me,
ionized salt systems.
Dan, is the old
And would
Wall
you
Street,
still
I've
keep doing it
21
if
years
it's
in
going to
CNBC
create that
down here in the
destabilization at the
24
fucking
years.
border?
Old
Because
Wall
that's just
Street tends
one.
to poo-poo,
One
the
of where you
Reddit
could be
traders
saving
and
money in
Robinhood,
terms of where you would
I
be
do not
sitting in the
understand
Fed.
that attitude at all. To me, I look at Robinhood, I see 22 million accounts.
We got a
in
lot
2 years.
on the
That's
table.
an
With
amazing
that
number,
much, it's going to
22
make
million.
money. You have volume.
Schwab
You made
has
money off volume,
33,
votes,
34
velocities,
million. A Vanguard
the
probably
speed
has
index in
37
which
or
this
38.
works.
BlackRock probably the same number, but they've been around for decades. 22 million accounts in a few years. Now Wall Street says,
Well, it
"Oh,
has
there's
to be
not
math.
much money in the accounts."
Has to
And
be.
I say,
It's gonna
you know,
correlate to a
that's
number.
not a good attitude. Those
If it
people
doesn't
are gonna
correlate to a
grow,
number, it's an
and what you
infinity.
want to do is
An
encourage them to
infinity
stick
is a
around
black hole, and we
educate
could throw
them.
money
So,
into that
you know, what you're
infinitely
saying,
by
Dan,
these
makes an awful lot
standards.
of sense to
And we
me.
know what a lot of them are. We know a
I
lot
just
who
hope that
they
they
are.
stay around because you know there's going to be a downturn at some
Now
point.
the
They're
problem,
gonna
the
lose money.
militia.
So will they just throw up
Now
their
the
hands and say,
problem,
"Oh, it's
looking
all
at
rigged.
Salty's
Wall
click
Street's
and
rigged," but
going,
it's not rigged.
well, when I go
It's just
through
market
the
turned down.
Yemen
And hopefully they'll stay
mental
around.
health
So
facility over there,
I'm
Salty.
cheering for Robinhood.
Now, let's
I really
look at our
want those
position.
22 million
What
not for the
happened
company,
was
but
big
those new
governors
investors.
did
I want
something,
them
gave
around.
their
They're
kid
really
a job
valuable
based
source of
on what?
energy, for the market.
Diversity,
So, Dan, I hope you're going to be able to. Be a
not
factor in making
qualifications.
those people stick around.
Now, I'll give you guys should
Well,
have better
we'll take 'em and
qualifications
upgrade
because you're better trained.
Okay,
It
very
happens,
good.
it comes up.